Hi guys, JB here. Basically just doing a quick video on the England performance last night because where do we go now under Gareth Southgate? He's had 5 years in the job, he's had 6 years in the job, sorry. You know, it's been, he's had a good run. He's had a good run with the team, but I just think he's taken them as far as he can go. Last night, if anything, I mean, I watched most of the game in the pub last night where I work, and it's got to be said that there were a lot of flaws in that England performance. We looked tired and jaded from a lack of direction. Certain players aren't playing well like they do for their club sides, and I think one or two of the players have to be left out. I think Harry Maguire is a player that I believe he's dropping. He's hardly had a game for Manchester United this season, and he just still, for some unaccountable reason, he gets in above somebody like Ben White or Dan Burn, who have both had terrific starts to the season with both Newcastle and Arsenal respectively. How can that be so? It's just, it doesn't, it boggles the mind, quite frankly. And then you've got people, I mean, Pope, out of the 11 that started yesterday, Nick Pope was probably the only one that shone. Now, Harry Kane tried towards the end to level the thing up. I mean, it was a great goal to win it from Italy. It was a great goal. They were absolutely brilliant last night, Italy. I just want to, before I start ranting on about the England performance and what needs to be done at the FA and things like that, it also needs to be said that Italy was superb. They were better than us on the day and scored a fantastic goal to win it. It was just, shot into the top corner. It was just unstoppable, wasn't it? So, yeah, it was a good victory for Italy. They've now qualified second. Hungary now top the group, our group. We've been relegated. Now, this leads me on to the performance and the manager. And this is where Gareth Southgate really now gets it growing from me, because I've backed him for about the last 6 years. He's done well. Semi-final, World Cup last 4 years ago. Final of the Euros last year. Terrific achievements, both of them. But we should have won last year, definitely. And we had a chance when the draw was favourable to beat Croatia, and we didn't take it. And therein lies the problem. Are England as good enough as they are now? Because is Southgate not good enough anymore now? I mean, he's become the first England manager in history to relegate the England side. I know it's the crappy Nations League and it's a cash cow for UEFA, but the fact of the matter is we've been relegated to the B group, or to the big set, or whatever they term it these days. I don't understand the concept of the Nations League, and not ever likely to, but the fact is we haven't won a game in 5, and and we've lost every one. And it's I don't care if you're playing in the Nations League, the World Cup, or the Dog and Duck Cup. It's not good enough. And who do you blame? I mean, there's got to be a modicum of responsibility all around, really, from all parties here. I think the buck stops with the manager. I think the manager has to take a lot of the blame for this. I mean, he came out yesterday and said it was a very good England performance. He might have thought it was a good England performance, and thought was the operative word they used there, because there was a lot of people who booed him last night, and quite rightly so. The performance was just not up to the standard required from an England side. It doesn't matter if you play Nations League football or the Dog and Duck Cup. It's just not good enough. We just didn't play well enough on the night, and we haven't played well enough over the course of the 5 Nations League games to warrant us finishing any further than bottom. I mean, the Germany games are non-bloody starter now on Monday night, isn't it? I mean, Channel 4 must be agreeing with themselves that they bought rights to 5 England games, and they've lost every single one of them. It's quite pathetic, really. And Channel 4, well, they must be, they've just wasted their money. They kept the irons on ITV with a bloody breeze the group, but there you go. you can't say the curse of Channel 4's to playing for England are struggling. But Southgate, let's get back to Gareth Southgate. The cautious tactics, and they have been cautious in the last few games. You know, the penny really should have dropped with all this when we were booed off at Molineux in June, when we lost 4-0 to Hungary, right? We lost 4-0 to Hungary. That just, you know, it's sad, isn't it? I think we drew one game against Italy. That was that boring behind closed doors shit fest, really. But to be honest with you, you know, there was wild boos. I mean, 30,000 fans at Molineux that June night could not have been wrong. But Southgate was given an opportunity tonight to fix a few wrongs right. And unfortunately, from what I saw, he didn't do anything. He picked the same useless bunch of jokers that he always picks, Maguire and Kyle Walker, just being two examples of the rules, of those points I'm making. You know, didn't pick somebody like Jack Grealish who can get up there, you know, and change the game. Didn't give Ivan Toney or Tammy Abraham, who can score goals in Italy. He knows where the back of the net is in Serie A, right? He scored plenty of goals in the last couple of seasons for Roma. I mean, he's just won the Europa Conference League with them, hasn't he? This year, hasn't he? So he knows what it entails to score against an Italian defence. You'd have thought Gareth Southgate, being astute enough to know this, would have actually summoned the energy to find out and actually have a go with him. But no, he picks the same tried and trusted shite he's picked, and he went with Harry Kane. He had a couple of efforts that Donnarumma said quite comfortably in the end, but Kane didn't look like adding to it. And the only reason Kane's in the side is because he's captain. But yet again, it comes down to another England manager. I don't care how successful Southgate's been in the past. That's immaterial now for this particular debate. What is that was then, this is now, and the years and nows are, we are not going to qualify for the Nations League. We're going to go into a lower set for the next pointless thing. And you know, my views on the Nations League won't change. You know, it's a pointless cash cow for UEFA just to cash in on the international breaks instead of friendlies. I think we should be having warm-up friendlies personally. But Southgate, you know, he could have used these last two games. Okay, we weren't going to qualify, but actually throw some fresh blood in. Last night in Germany, you've got to be the perfect examples. We need to, you know, obviously he needs a result now on Monday, because if he doesn't, then I think he's got to go. Personally, I know we're less than 2 months away from the World Cup, but Gareth Southgate just hasn't got a clue what his best side is. It's like Roy Hodgson in 2016 yet again. You know, listen, the last two tournaments have been fantastic ones for England, right? Now, a lot of people this time last year were talking about, oh, we're going to win the World Cup this year and all that sort of thing after we reach the Euros, you know. Let's not beat about the bush. We're not going to win the World fucking Cup. Not in Qatar, not in the climate, and not with the same bunch of jokers that Southgate seems to try and trust, and he's let down with every single time. One more thing I want to say: the players themselves are disgraceful. The money they earn for their club sides, they care more about their posh lifestyles, their rich houses, and their Mercedes and whatever, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Maseratis, whatever they silly punkers on in terms of cars and stuff. They seem to care more about that and doing well for the national team. When you're good enough and you're playing at the highest level of football in your chosen profession, to have a chance to represent your country should be a privilege. And that's another thing that I'm not happy with. The fact that these plonkers get paid a proportionate amount of money to represent their country. Now that should not happen. In any other sport, that would not be happening. You should be privileged to represent your country. Not your clubs pay you. Okay, it's just, it's not good enough. And the FA, I think Southgate will probably stay for the World Cup, but if he flops, that's it for me. I'd replace him with Mourinho. best man for the job, for as far as I'm concerned, Jose Mourinho, because he won't. You know what Mourinho's like. He's got no chance for egos. The FA as well. They've got to change their ways. You can't keep appointing yes men to keep the committees happy. You really can't. And it's the FA committee as well. That they've got a lot to blame for this. This is why This is why they've kept appointing yes men for so many years. This is why they wouldn't appoint Brian Clough as the manager, because he would have took over and run the whole show. Maybe it could have been the best thing for the FA, had a bloody Claire out or whatever. The thing is, it's just not good enough. And you've just got to look at it objectively. That the England team, you know, it doesn't matter what team, what tactics you put out there, you've got to utilise the squad to the best of your advantage. You pick players that you're never going to pick. Another problem with Southgate's tactics last night. Italy used 5 of their substitutions. Let's count them. 5. How many did we use? Count them again. 2. Okay? Tells you everything you need to know about Southgate and the way he's trying to shake things up. But at the moment, we don't beat Germany and we don't do well enough in the World Cup in the next couple of months. Sorry, Southgate, but you're out of a job, mate. And the FA's next manager cannot be a frigging yes man. They need a proper manager, or they can go to hell as far as I'm concerned.